The legality of burying a meter can vary by jurisdiction. In some areas, it is illegal to obstruct access to utility meters, including gas, electric, and water meters. In other areas, it may be allowed with specific conditions, such as obtaining a permit or providing an alternative means of access. According to the National Electrical Code, or NIC, meter cans must be readily accessible to qualified personnel for inspection, maintenance, and replacement. Burying a meter can make it significantly more difficult to access and could pose safety hazards. Burying a meter can pose several risks and consequences. Firstly, it presents a safety hazard. If a gas or electric leak occurs, it may be difficult to detect or access the meter to shut off service. Secondly, maintenance issues arise. Regular maintenance and inspection of meters is essential for ensuring proper operation and preventing potential safety issues. Burying a meter can make it challenging to perform these tasks. Thirdly, replacement difficulty becomes a factor. When a meter needs to be replaced, it can be expensive and time-consuming to remove the concrete and access the meter can. Fourthly, meter damage can occur. The concrete surrounding the meter can put pressure on the meter, potentially damaging it and affecting its accuracy. There are alternative options available to avoid burying meter cans. Firstly, recessed meter cabinets can be used. These cabinets are recessed into the wall, providing access to the meter while maintaining the aesthetics of the property. Secondly, meter pedestals can be installed. Pedestals can be installed above ground, allowing for easy access to the meter. Thirdly, underground vaults can be used. In some cases, vaults can be installed underground to provide access to meters without disturbing the surface. If you encounter a buried meter can, it is advisable to firstly consult with your local building department or utility provider to determine if it is legal in your area. Secondly, explore alternative options for accessing the meter. Thirdly, prioritize the safety and accessibility of the meter for inspection, maintenance, and potential emergencies. To elaborate further on the NEC requirements regarding accessibility, the Code emphasizes the importance of providing sufficient working space around electrical equipment, including meter cans. This working space ensures that qualified personnel can safely and effectively perform their duties without undue difficulty or risk of injury. The specific dimensions of the required working space are determined by factors such as the voltage of the equipment and the presence of any obstructions. In the case of a buried meter can, the concrete enclosure would likely be considered an obstruction that significantly reduces the available working space, thereby violating the NEC requirements. Furthermore, the NEC addresses the issue of environmental protection for electrical equipment. Meter cans are typically designed to withstand exposure to the elements such as rain, snow, and sunlight. However, burying a meter can in concrete can create a unique set of environmental challenges. The concrete can trap moisture and create a damp environment, which can accelerate corrosion of the meter can and its internal components. Additionally, the concrete can restrict ventilation, leading to overheating of the meter during periods of high demand. Both corrosion and overheating can compromise the performance and safety of the meter. Regarding the potential safety hazards associated with a buried meter can, it is important to consider the risk of electrical shock. If the meter can becomes damaged or corroded, it can create a path for electricity to leak to ground. If a person comes into contact with the energized concrete enclosure, it could receive a serious or even fatal electrical shock. The risk of electrical shock is particularly high in wet or damp conditions, which are more likely to occur in a buried meter can. In addition to the risk of electrical shock, a buried meter can also pose a fire hazard. If the meter overheats due to restricted ventilation, it can ignite nearby combustible materials. The fire could spread rapidly through the concrete enclosure and into the surrounding structure, causing significant property damage and potentially endangering lives. Regarding the difficulty of performing maintenance and inspections on a buried meter can, it is important to consider the various tasks that are typically involved. These tasks may include visually inspecting the meter for signs of damage or corrosion, testing the accuracy of the meter, tightening electrical connections, and replacing worn or damaged components. All of these tasks require access to the meter and the ability to work safely and effectively. Burying the meter can in concrete makes it extremely difficult to perform these tasks, potentially leading to deferred maintenance and increased risk of problems. When a meter needs to be replaced, the process can be significantly more complicated and expensive if the meter can is buried in concrete. The concrete must be carefully removed without damaging the meter or any nearby electrical components. This process can be time-consuming and labor-intensive, and it may require the use of specialized equipment. In addition, the replacement meter may need to be modified to fit within the existing concrete enclosure. All of these factors can add to the overall cost of the meter replacement. Regarding the potential for meter damage caused by the concrete enclosure, it is important to consider the effects of thermal expansion and contraction. Concrete expands and contracts with changes in temperature. If the concrete is tightly bonded to the meter can, this expansion and contraction can put stress on the meter can, potentially causing it to crack or deform. In addition, the concrete can trap moisture against the meter can, which can accelerate corrosion and weaken the metal. The alternative options for avoiding buried meter cans, such as recessed meter cabinets, meter pedestals, and underground vaults, offer a variety of advantages in terms of accessibility, safety, and aesthetics. Recessed meter cabinets provide a clean and streamlined appearance while still allowing for easy access to the meter. Meter pedestals elevate the meter above ground level, making it easy to read in service. Underground vaults provide a secure and protected environment for the meter while minimizing visual impact. When considering which alternative option is best suited for a particular application, it is important to take into account factors such as the location of the meter, the type of building, and the aesthetic preferences of the property owner. Consulting with a qualified electrician or building contractor can help ensure that the chosen option meets all applicable codes and regulations. In summary, burying a meter can in concrete is generally not recommended due to the potential safety hazards, maintenance issues, replacement difficulties, and risk of meter damage. Alternative options that provide easy access to the meter while maintaining safety and aesthetics are typically preferred. If you encounter a buried meter can, it is important to consult with your local building department or utility provider to determine if it is legal in your area and to explore alternative options for accessing the meter. Prioritizing the safety and accessibility of the meter is essential for ensuring proper operation and preventing potential emergencies. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a comprehensive set of standards that governs the safe installation and maintenance of electrical systems. The NEC is updated every 3 years to reflect the latest technological advancements and safety practices. It is widely adopted by states and municipalities throughout the United States, and it serves as the basis for many local electrical codes. The NEC contains specific requirements for the installation and maintenance of meter cans, including requirements for accessibility, working space, environmental protection, and grounding. Compliance with the NEC is essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical systems. When evaluating the legality of a buried meter can, it is important to consult with your local building department or utility provider. These entities are responsible for enforcing the NEC and any other applicable local codes and regulations. They can provide guidance on the specific requirements for meter can installations in your area and can help you determine whether a buried meter can is permissible. If a buried meter can is determined to be illegal or unsafe, it may be necessary to remove the concrete enclosure and install an alternative meter can that complies with all applicable codes and regulations. This work should be performed by a qualified electrician who is familiar with the NEC and local electrical codes. When selecting an alternative meter can, it is important to choose a model that is appropriately sized for the electrical load and that is designed for outdoor use. The meter can should also be properly grounded to protect against electrical shock. In addition to the NEC, there may be other applicable codes and regulations that govern the installation and maintenance of meter cans. These may include local building codes, fire codes, and utility company regulations. It is important to be familiar with all applicable codes and regulations before undertaking any work on a meter can. Working with a qualified electrician or building contractor can help ensure that all work is performed in compliance with applicable codes and regulations. The importance of regular maintenance and inspection of meter cans cannot be overstated. Regular inspections can help identify potential problems before they become serious safety hazards. Maintenance tasks such as tightening electrical connections and replacing worn or damaged components can help ensure that the meter can operate safely and reliably. Meter cans should be inspected at least annually and more frequently in areas with harsh environmental conditions. During an inspection, it is important to look for signs of damage or corrosion, such as cracks, rust, or loose connections. Any problems that are identified should be corrected promptly by a qualified electrician. In addition to visual inspections, it is also important to test the accuracy of the meter periodically. A meter that is not accurately measuring electricity consumption can result in inaccurate billing and potential disputes with the utility company. Meter accuracy can be tested by a qualified electrician using specialized equipment. If a meter is found to be inaccurate, it should be replaced promptly. The process of removing concrete from around a meter can should be approached with caution to avoid damaging the meter or any nearby electrical components. It is generally recommended to use hand tools rather than power tools to remove the concrete. This will allow for greater control and reduce the risk of accidental damage. The concrete should be removed in small pieces, working slowly and carefully. If the concrete is tightly bonded to the meter can, it may be necessary to use a chisel or other specialized tool to break the bond. Once the concrete has been removed, the meter can should be thoroughly inspected for any signs of damage or corrosion. Any damage should be repaired before installing a new meter can. When installing a new meter can, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. The meter can should be securely mounted to the wall or pedestal, and all electrical connections should be made properly. The meter can should also be properly grounded to protect against electrical shock. After the new meter can has been installed, it should be inspected by a qualified electrician to ensure that it is functioning properly. The electrician should also verify that the meter is accurately measuring electricity consumption. In conclusion, burying a meter in concrete is generally not recommended due to the potential safety hazards, maintenance issues, replacement difficulties, and risk of meter damage. Alternative options that provide easy access to the meter while maintaining safety and aesthetics are typically preferred. If you encounter buried meter can, it is important to consult with your local building department or utility provider to determine if it is legal in your area and to explore alternative options for accessing the meter. Prioritizing the safety and accessibility of the meter is essential for ensuring proper operation and preventing potential emergencies. Remember to always consult with qualified professionals for any electrical work to ensure safety and compliance with local codes and regulations. The information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always prioritize safety and consult with experts for any specific electrical concerns.